I hope I'm audible.
Yes,
you are.
Thank you.
Yes, you are.
Hello all, a very good afternoon. Myself, Mahima Khadse, on behalf of the Branalytics team and our partner Ozonetel, we welcome you all on our webinar, How Omnichannel Automation Can Optimize the Buyer Journey in Real Estate Industry. Today, we will like to make this session engaging and interesting through all our audience. There would be Q&A after the panel discussion, where the attendees can ask the questions, if any, to the speakers. There are certain guidelines that I would like to highlight. Raise your hand, unmute yourself and on your video, introduce yourself, name, company, designation, ask your question to our panelists. To start with, I would like to introduce our partner Ozonetel. Ozonetel is an industry leader within the customer experience space, offering businesses a robust omni-channel platform to manage end-to-end communication flows. The AI-powered full-stack platform has enabled over 2,500 plus businesses to simplify, manage, and analyze interactions at every step of their customer communication and engagement journey. The platform helps enterprises to engage with customers at every touch point across voice, chat, SMS, WhatsApp, and other digital channels. It fully integrates with CRM and other business applications and offers a truly omni-channel experience for customers. Ozonetel offers its customers a global infrastructure that is fully compliant with the telecom regulations across United States, South and Middle East Asia, and India. Today, we would hear interesting insights on effective strategies to improve sales, process, and automation to score leads and streamline sales activities. Now, I would like to introduce our moderator, Prantik Goswami, who is a manager account-based marketing in Ozonetel Communications. Now, over to you, Prantik. Please take it from here.
Thanks, Mahima. I hope I'm audible, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today. And on behalf of Ozonetel, I would like to thank our panelists for taking time out of the busy schedule and joining us here today. Before we begin with the discussion flow, I would want the panelists to introduce themselves a little bit about themselves, where they work and what they do, and something about the years of experience. We would like to welcome Mr. Ajay Nambia back. It's good to have you back on this forum again, sir. How about we start from you?
Sure. Thanks, Prantik, and thanks to Branalytics for having me on this interesting conversation related to the industry that I'm in, real estate, which is wonderful to know. I'm currently with M3M based in the NCR region. Some Balaji or waving. Okay, sorry, I thought Balaji wanted my attention. So we are, my experience traverses three industries. I started with hospitality, hotels, spent the first decade there. The second decade was with tech startups, internet, telecom, etc. And the third and the most recent has been in real estate with companies like Emaar, Larsen & Toubro Realty, and currently with M3M and PYP, which is one of their product lines. That's where I am today, based out of NCR and Gurgaon. Thank you so much, Prantik.
Great to have you, Mr. Ajay. How about you? You go, Mr. Balaji next. Can you give a short intro?
I have this side, Balaji Ramachandran. I've been heading marketing at Sowparnika at this moment, and I hold close to about 20 years of experience in real estate vertical. So prior to Sowparnika, I was with Mantri. So I used to head the verticals of residential and commercials at Mantri Developers. I also come from a very strong agency background. So I work with Saatchi and O&M on a client servicing roles. So at this moment, driving Sowparnika, all you guys should be aware of it. Predominantly very focused on building affordable home segments. So at this moment, Sowparnika is also, raising its vertical and building a mid-sized home and also getting into a luxury villa products. So I'm all set here, to gear up Sowparnika at the level next. So that's it about me.
Great to have you here and really excited to hear some interesting marketing insights for sure today.
Sure.
Over to you, Mr. Pankaj.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. And my name is Pankaj, and I work for a company called DLF. It's real estate. And if you talk about my experience, total sales experience, I have roughly about 26 years of experience in sales, out of which 50 years is only into super luxury automobile. So all the cars which you see on road are almost sold by me, which is starting from Hondas to the Bentleys, to the Rolls Royce, to like any car, Ferraris. I've sold all those cars, and it's been almost a decade now working for real estate, which is in DLF. And I mean, this is what I carry is all sales throughout. And I take care of a project which is called One Midtown in Delhi, and I've been very instrumental in selling camellias, which is I'll say probably the Asia's most prized real estate, which was camellia. So which started selling from about 30 crores and above. So today is about 50 crores. So that's very expensive real estate. But yes, I've been part of this sweet and proud journey which I have crossed till now. But thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you so much for joining us, and really excited to learn more about you, about the luxury segment today, and looking forward to hearing your insights.
Sure, thank you.
How about you go next?
Thanks, Prantik. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Ram Pradeep, and I'm with Ozonetel as a senior product consultant. I've been with Ozonetel since 2013, when Ozonetel was among a few players in the cloud telephony space in India. Since then, we have grown, evolved, and stand today as one of the industry leaders in the Indian CCaaS landscape. Today, Ozonetel has more than 2,500 customers worldwide, and our contact center software application annually. So I actively look into building and assessing system architecture while recommending solutions to improve the usability and user experience. So I closely work with sales team and pre-sales team, and often do a customized client demos for unique business requirements. Today, I'm happy to be part of this one-of-a-kind webinar and eagerly looking forward to the discussion.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you for joining us. So today we would like to discuss how effective communication can be a real catalyst in improving the buyer journey in real estate, how it helps speed up the sales and buying process. And we want to learn more about the technological advancement you have adopted. What are the key customer-centric strategies you have deployed at your organizations? The key discussion points today would be effective communication strategies to streamline the buyer journey. How can we leverage omni-channel communication strategies for effective customer engagement? How do you manage your sales team efficiency in a remote work environment? And also we'd want to learn more about how you have been managing marketing campaigns, tracking in the ROI. And so mainly the discussion would be how you're effectively using communication to streamline the journey. But before we go deep into automation and how it has been helping the buyer journey, I would want to really explore what are the biggest challenges that real estate companies face when it comes to managing the sales pipeline, and what are the bottlenecks in effective pipeline management. And by the bottlenecks, I would really want to point out in terms of communication, in terms of customer engagement and communication front. So Mr. Ajay, would you want to go first?
Yes. Thanks. And I think it's interesting. Real estate as an asset class till maybe the last decade was probably not the most tech engaged, if I could use that word. But I think there have been rapid developments. COVID, in fact, probably amplified the accessibility on multiple channels. In the north, and since I've had the experience of having worked here in NCR and in Mumbai, the markets behave a little differently. In the north, we sell predominantly through our partner network, And our model also is predominant to partner network. So if you ask me, the first linkage challenge is there, where you are linking, as you rightly asked, a distributed environment. How do I connect, if the funnel comes into M3M, for example, how does that architect our partner network? So we did have multiple systems in place, and I think that didn't help us earlier. What we have now done is brought it down to a very simple workflow-driven model on Salesforce, and but to have an absolute seamless workflow mechanism between us, between the lead that comes in through various sources, whether on social media or through any of our ad campaigns, through a QR code, etc. It seamlessly flows into the workflow of our telesales team, who then network. And I think that's a wonderful example of a seamless transition where there is no data or transmission loss, and yet you can have an effective monitoring of campaigns through any of the social media channels, and also those that come in as direct sales. On the challenges, I think the challenge is, of course, to bring the partner network up to speed. You must understand, typically in real estate, it's all driven by relationships. And as Pankaj himself said, for a ticket size, it depends on a ticket size. For a smaller ticket size, the response or reactions are very different from a customer base as opposed to a high-end ticket size. The high-end ticket size typically works through relationships. They are not high volume, but they are very high value, right? So that works purely on a one-on-one relationship. And that's where probably the challenge of digitization and getting somebody to, who works at that high end, to get them to work on a seamless channel is not the easiest to crack. So it still is, to an extent lies in the area of great that if the lead comes to me, but I'm very happy that my relationship, because there's also a protective nature of the partner network to protect their clients, right? That my clients are mine. So I'd like to retain them as mine because I sell them multiple, it could be DLF, it could be monthlies, it could be M3M. They sell across the spectrum. They are quite protective of their network. So what we did do is simplify it, that we connected the lead to them and take the lead feedback. So we've kept it at that. They bring in their own clients, which is fine. And of course, at the end, they become our customers or any of the other developers. But that slight bottleneck of getting all channel partners, RERA did a great thing by actually getting all channel partners RERA registered, which is good for us because then you have, you don't speak to all channel partners, you speak to those who are the serious ones. But that's probably, if you ask me, it's just that small little gap in the nature of the relationship you have in a distributed environment where we sell, which is the highest proportion is in the distributed environment. And how do we get them on board? So we now, for example, we've tried another medium is to try and get all their channel partners where they get their brokerage all done also online. So at least it brings them on board when anything concerning money is an easier route to get acceptance levels done. So we've worked that out for them to try and get them onto a platform where they can see not just their bookings, the stage at which the bookings are, and the most important thing to them is at what stage do they get their brokerage or their commissions. So that's really just one small point of that connectivity to get them on a pure seamless platform is not perfect yet.
Understood. I think you clearly mentioned the channel partner engagement was a bottleneck, and you have been addressing it with adoption of technology. I think you mentioned how it might be different for a luxury segment. And Mr. Pankaj, your insights on the same, please.
Yeah, thank you, Ajay, for briefing at least half part of mine. Since we all are from real estate, and especially North India real estate, actually it works very similar. I'm sure Balaji this brokerage would have been different in South India, but yes, North India is totally very different. Because not only a client is also very well educated now. I mean, as you were mentioning, that digitalization has really improved so much that imagine the first thing which you're using is Zoom. I mean, before 2020, I never thought of Zoom ever. Now Zoom is the most common thing. It has made our life much easier. Like, all the webinars. I never thought that in my memories, it was always to go to a hotel and just attend a webinar and come back. A seminar. The webinar terms actually started from 2020 after the COVID. So a lot of things actually has been very beneficial for all of us. Like Salesforce is the biggest tool, because it's very difficult to keep one customer under one kitty, because customers also now is far more smarter than you think. He also goes to 10 people. So this just to retain, because broker is something, because customer may comes one, but yes, broker will be bringing more customers to us. So we really have to take care of his clientele whosoever is getting. He should be sure that whatever he's giving to us is not being transformed anywhere else, or the lead is protected towards him. So this is also a very big business, because I'll say in North India, about 80-85% business is run through channel partners, since very less of direct. Because direct customers only comes in where, I mean, Ajay rightly said, there's always a difference between volume and value. So for volume, yes, channel partners may sometimes plays about 90% role. But where it comes to values, it is very different. I mean, some channel partners may not be able to sell that kind of or maybe very less channel partners who are selling volumes which are 30, 40, 50 crores. But yes, there'll be thousands of them which are selling under 10 crores. So when, we really have to cater to all of them, that any channel partner's lead is very much protected. He's happy. And when his channel partner's brokerage is released, because everything comes down to money anyway. Everyone works for money. So they're also, burning their blood only to get more money. And which is, I think, Salesforce has played a major role. And yes, all this digitalization, like barcodes and everything. So all this customer registration, everything happens at the spot, right? I mean, initially when it was very difficult for all of us, for example, Ajay has seen massive, launches where, I mean, if you see customers are, if it is 500-600, but the channel partners are 1,500, just to maintain that data was also very, very difficult a lot of times. So, I mean, that's why this has really proven us very well. And I think digitalization is something which will help us in future to ease our things. So this is only helping us to ease our efforts and just to maintain that data. Like now on a click of a button, everything, whatever the broker has done in the entire country, in the entire company. So it's very easy. Otherwise, in older times, it was very difficult, like to get a file, to know what is happening. So now just press a button and you know whatever is happening in the world. So I'll say this has really helped us a lot.
Again, some very key insights on managing a channel partner network. Mr. Balaji, what are your thoughts on effective pipeline management and communication?
The whole digitalization and bringing the automation process in real estate segment was something way far beyond of even thinking implementing in any of the real estate organization. This was something, post your COVID. So any new technology which you want to get it implemented, it could be your CRM or an ERP systems, that all this happened to enhance into an implementation happened only, post COVID, as Mr. Ajay said rightly. What I strongly feel is, this digitalization is something which has really, been a bridge path between a consumer and a real estate builder. But however, I still feel that, there is a lag in the automation process. Your digitalization is something like, which turns out, the best out of the best leads in reaching out, to the end consumer and talking about our projects. What is the quantum of lead that comes and dumps in inside? How do you qualify this kind of leads? How does it, the whole automation process bifurcates this leads and helps the builder, to identify who's your right buyer, who's your right audience. So I still feel that, digitalization is somewhere has to improvised in a more systematic process. I think that's something which I still, any of the CRM for that reason, or any of your digital platforms at this stage, there is a lag in the system, Pratik. So when we started running a campaigns on on big 12-hour sale during a COVID period. It turned out to be a very nice, interesting footfalls happened, and interesting online booking took place. That's one. But post your COVID, when you again try to run that campaign, the digital platform is so vast and so huge in size. It goes haywire in terms of getting the leads captured in the right format. So you always see this discrepancies happening, across all this platform. I find, this is a challenge where from a builder perspective, this needs to be fixed, is what I look at, Pratik.
Thank you, Balaji, for your thoughts. Ram, I think you have spoken to a lot number of real estate companies where you have shown demos, you have spoken about the pain points. What do you think about the thoughts being shared in the forum today? And what are your thoughts on what you consider crucial pain points or challenges?
Yeah, thanks, Prantik. So the team has rightly, pointed out on still the evolution has to come. There are a lot of tools in the market. Like Pankaj was saying, in the last 2 years only we got into online things and all, right? So when I talk to the clients, what I understand, they're still in figuring it out. How do I merge, or how do I collab all the tools in one place so that I can communicate in a better way? Okay, so they ideally they wanted to benefit using a tool. In the real estate industry, there are multiple stages to a lead. You need to nurture that lead from stage 1 to stage 2 and so on and so forth. There are like awareness, evaluation, usage, purchase. There are multiple stages, right? So in all the stages, one common thing which I see from a CCaaS industry or a telephony or communication as a service is what we are offering. What I see is in all the stages, awareness to usage, communication is something needed. Either you have to follow up the lead, or you have to ask for an appointment, you have to send a message, somewhere you need to be in touch so that you can nurture that lead. So this is something people already aware, but they don't know how do they optimize this. How can they automate and make effective communication? This is something they are lagging, and that's where they come to us and ask for, can I integrate your tool with Salesforce? Do you provide a unified services, right? So how can I make a call while my team is on the go, on the field? How can I make a call, right? So they want to make a automation, make it more efficient, tracking the lead conversations, right? So all this is something still it's lacking. So we need to make this automation effective using right tools and right APIs, right?
Thank you, Ram. I think you mentioned communication, and we know that it's very crucial for a real estate agent to have a real estate buyer to have a seamless experience while engaging with the company. We wanted to know, in terms of communication, what are the key communication channels? Like now a custom buyer is everywhere. He can reach out on the call, through the net, WhatsApp is there. There's so many channels. So my question to you, Mr. Ajay, is what are the must-have communication channels for real estate, and which are the channels where you see the customer spending most of the time?
Interesting. If you look at it, the must-have changes from city to city, region to region. And I remember when I was with Emaar, there was a drive in Emaar, Dubai, to completely go off print media and get it completely on a digital platform, that everything is only on a digital platform. To a large extent, the way the market in the UAE behaves very differently. They were able to hit relatively good numbers on a digitized platform. However, this is an asset class which is an emotional high. It involves the whole family for a purchase decision. It takes a disproportionate amount of your income that you have earned, right? And it's a product which you buy, probably the only product which you buy today and you get to see 4 years down the line. And you pay 85% of the money up front, right? So it's a very, very unique product. Having said that, I think what will work is 80% is still that touch and feel. People do want to touch, they want to meet you, because it's not like you're buying a bar of candy or chocolate. It's a very involved product, and it requires a series of meetings, right? Before you finalize, you nail down what you want, because that has a potential to last your lifetime. So I think, however, where digital aids do come in place is at the initial stage of getting in as a funnel to bring in the leads. It's, to me, it's a no-brainer. And those leads getting converted to site visits and then to an eventual, booking being made. Those can be, but the in-betweens are where a lot of physical face-to-face, etc. happens. During COVID, we experimented with, should we do AR, VR, MR, etc., etc. Traction is low, because if you look at it, any other product line, a person can sit on a Zoom call or on any of these mediums and do a virtual tour. But till RERA came in this country, it was highly unregulated. So there is a question of trust. And trust will only come after people get confidence that the delivery happens on time, and who's a developer or builder of repute. And it's only then that trust comes. So it's not 100% given the asset class. So I do think the digital channels at work wonderfully well at the initial stage of lead management, and I think that's already in play today. I think it's perfect. The day, and I like Pankaj talking of alias and the ticket size at 40 crores, 50 crores, etc. Now at a niche like that, you can do a lot. Yeah, because the physical product is not as much important as the brand visibility or the brand value of that product, which is why people buy in.
I think more of aspiration.
Absolutely. And there the person doesn't have to, you're buying a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. I don't need to come and look at whether the door handle is there or not there. I mean, I know it's a Ferrari or Lamborghini, it comes by default. So depending on the asset class, I think at the lower end, if you ask me, I would look at the budget segment, because the budget segment is a huge volume driver. It's on volumes with a value or ticket size of, say the 50 or less than a crore. I think that segment, the potential upside is higher using channels, social media channels, which work wonderfully well. People are very well informed, and I like what Pankaj are well informed today. All of us are on Instagram or some social media channel or the other. Because there is a pre-launch, you give a teaser. All that can happen very, very well. It just does drive traffic. I don't see any new technology changing the landscape today, because the adoption is a little slow. It's not that it is impossible, it's a little slow. But I think as we stand today, the key nexus is actually getting people to come on digital. I still have a battle to try and get people to say, okay, fill up your application form online. And that itself is a struggle, because people prefer sitting, taking a physical form and writing, and as opposed to saying, okay, is digital acceptable or not. So those are fundamental challenges. But a lot of leads, I think let me put it this way. I think where it helps, and I love the way it was done in a organization that I worked in. So what is the defined time frame to respond to a social media inquiry? If somebody's gone on Facebook and done a like or given an inquiry saying, I'm interested, if you ask me, the 99% success factor is how soon can I connect with you? And a reach done was your success rate is in the high 80% if you connect within the first 10 minutes. Yeah, that to me is a great incentive for not losing a lead, because people are browsing multiple sites, their retention spans are low. If you can get them within 10 minutes, I think you already have a great story to start with.
I absolutely agree. I think the turnaround time, quick response is not just a key component of real estate, but all industries. We have seen this in banking industry. We have seen it across industries. Whenever someone comes into a website, fills up a form, and the sooner a someone from the inside sales or sales team calls back, the chances of conversions have always been higher.
Correct. And I just
You
want to
may-
add one more point, Prantik, on this. Very, very important, especially in real estate. And that's it's what I believe in, is no part of real estate can be outsourced. It is an asset class which has to be owned by the brand and run by the brand and not outsourced, unlike telecom or BFSI, because that is huge volumes. Here, the sense of ownership is important to the lowest common denominator, which is that person who takes the call. Because that person, it's that moment of truth. That person represents your brand. And that person cannot be anybody else. And Pankaj will back me on this, that you can't have an outsourced call center sell a Ferrari.
So,
Yeah, because you can talk any language, but unless I know what am I talking about. So my mandate also has been in real estate that I don't outsource. It is all in-house, because a person has to breathe, live that 24/7 for it to be successful. And it's across the board, not just telesales, it's post-sales also. It will always run effectively if it is owned and managed under the brand itself as opposed to outsource. Just my take on what of technology we should not outsource.
Thank you. Thanks. I think you have mentioned one key thing was that in real estate, we make the payment upfront, we get the home after 2 years, 3 years. But in that 2-year waiting time or 3-year waiting time, there is a lot of engagement that's going on. And my question to you, Mr. Pankaj, is how do you make it easy for your prospects or your customers who have already made a purchase to remain actively engaged post the site visit, post sales, or like during the sales process? And also the second part too is like, how do you manage your internal and external communication?
So I'll tell you, there are different things. So as I would agree with Ajay that, this digital really gives us really a big boost in getting sales inquiries. Yes, because I'll tell you that the age of the buyer has really changed. Initially, if we were young, only the parents or the father used to decide which property he wants to buy, and the family used to follow. But today, if you see, kids are buying apartment for their parents. The volume has really come to their hand. All these kids, I mean, I and Ajay would still struggle to get technologically strong, but our kids are much more smarter because they're born in it. So obviously the reach out for them, like on Insta or for LinkedIn or anywhere, is much faster than people like us. So now the new buyers are all young. So they are really tech savvy, very, very heavily tech savvy, I'll say. So all those inquiries, and I agree with everyone on the board that yes, if the inquiry is answered within 10-15 minutes, the conversion chances really increases a lot. And to answer your query, what happens after that? So once the customer buys it, and then obviously it comes into a system. So everything is like now system generated. All the demands and everything is taken care by the system itself. But yes, I mean, there has to be someone who's from real estate, who knows what the demand is, how he has to pay. We cannot outsource it because he will have no idea how much GST, how much CDS, what is the time frame, so many things. So it has to be in-house where even the digitally also has to be governed or managed by someone who's inside this real estate from the real estate. So that's how I work. And yes, I mean, once this demand and everything, then all this invites are all autopilot now. I mean, then we just press a button, invite, and all invite goes to everyone, all the existing owners or to prospect, and in different ways. So it is really, I mean, I'll say the new way of spreading our wings is technically only on the digital platform only.
Mr. Balaji, anything on this? How would you engage your customers throughout the journey from lead site visit, starting from the identification to post sales? And Mr. Pankaj have mentioned digital being the forefront, but any particular channels, what has worked for you?
Well, see, as Mr. Ajay said, the first reach out which happens in just about 10 minutes of time. That's where most of your pre-sales, the face of the companies, nail the customer there. So see, generally, to reach out your identify your existing buyers, there are plenty of digital platforms, there are plenty of mediums which has been built now, but everybody, every real estate company at this moment, running behind on all the available digital platforms. So what I strongly feel is, until and unless real estate companies communicate, the communication strategies are not built in track, they intend to fail in any of the campaigns they run. So what I mean to say is, like, could be a tier 1 builder or could be a tier 3 builder. So everybody are there on the digital platforms. A. B, what are they communicating? Everybody basically builds home, at their levels and at their standards. But how do you communicate it? How do you differentiate it? How do you identify your set number of audience? So that's the where most of your real estate company fails in executing the campaign. So, well, I'm an end user, I see a lead, I drop a lead. So I get a sales pitch coming from a tier 1 company. It could be a Mac, or it could be any tier 3 builder based out of India. But what do you communicate, how fast you communicate, and how do you put your precise informations of your product in a very niche manner? So your builders real estate company needs to communicate your communications in a very nice strategies, in a very nice campaigns. That's something most of the real estate company fails. That's one. Second, available of your digital source on a different levels are there, but need to understand what works, what doesn't work. Third, how quick and how fast your pre-sales team reaches out and gives an accurate information, and try to be very transparent in your communications. So I think if these three things, if it is in a place, I think it's something which goes in a very smooth transitions.
Thank you, Mr. Varaji, for your thoughts. Ram, I think you've been sitting here and listening to all the insights. And the question to is, what is the importance of CCaaS technology, and how have real estate customers been implementing this to effectively reach out to the prospective buyers?
Right. So I have been hearing there are various touch points. The lead pre-sales team talking to that lead, nurturing that lead, all these processes. But ideally, they should try to communicate, correct? So what I feel in my journey with the customers, right? I often picture the customer journey as a road trip, a long route with many destinations rather than one. There may be multiple resources, right? Like say CCaaS platforms operate with single approach. Agents need nothing more than an app. So like we were discussing, people are now tech savvy. They can use even iPhones. If you have a mobile phone with an app, that should suffice. Taking an example of sales application, it has a mobile app. You can do a click to call from there, right? So agents need nothing more than an app on desktop or mobile devices. And the system does not require any additional hardware or software to run. CCaaS applications allow them to work across any channel from any device in any location. So I'm trying to see how can we provide a solution using our technology, which is readily there. And in the last few years, CCaaS has grown in the market. Along with that, there are AI power-driven conversations. CCaaS applications like our Ozonetel application uses artificial intelligence and natural language processing to provide a real-time call transcriptions, insights during the conversations. right? So the live transcriptions can help agents better focus on a person during the conversation rather than he taking a notes, which was in the good olden days, people used to write the conversation so that they don't miss out the call conversations. So I personally feel the CCaaS technology is something really important to save the cost. I remember when I joined in Ozonetel, that was like a decade back, right? So that there was a traditional way of deployment, any call center software, right? Now we have evolved in a place where most of the players in the market, we are providing a contact center as a service. There is no hardware required. Everything is on cloud. So you don't have to pay for that. You don't have to worry about upgrading a software or replacing your hardware or software if they become obsolete and are replaced with newer technology. So that is something the service provider will take care. That's what this CCaaS has come in picture. So it enables agents to work from home anywhere and get a better guidance and information during the calls. Even agents, there is something hybrid model, right? Some of them are sitting in office, they're taking calls on internet. Some of them are sitting in home, they're taking call on mobiles. It's a blended solution, and the supervisor can see all in one place, which is our live dashboards and reports. So this will reduce in downtime due to better reliability and the lack of hardware and software maintenance, right? So this can decrease the IT staffings. That's what I see people are liking, and they're shifting from traditional way of deployment to the typical, the recently developed CCaaS or cloud-based technologies.
Any insights on how a CCaaS platform can help reduce the turnaround time when a lead comes into the system, and how soon can a sales agent contact them? The lead come from any source?
Very much. So I heard 2-3 points which the team has, which Ajay has started that point. Like they wanted, as soon as a lead has come on a website, they would like to approach them as early as possible so that they get incentive, or so that you are reached out as quickly as possible and solving their queries. So this is where we have done a lot of integrations, right, with exclusively with Salesforce. Any lead coming in from website, that is directly coming into Salesforce, right? And that data is pushed into our dialer campaigns, right? Auto dialers are readily available, and we can push that number into dialer through an APIs. RESTful APIs are readily there. Integration is very quick. You don't have to write an extra code and all. It's a plug and play APIs. Use them to push the number into auto dialers. Dialer will dial out as soon as the agent is available. Let us say if agents are not available, right? So we do have other approaches. We guide our clients, try in this method. So we, like I said, we are providing a solutions. Okay. I personally recommend, why don't you try in this multiple touch points? If you are not able to call them quickly, as soon as you get a lead, use our WhatsApp APIs, right? You send a message to them that we have received your information, we'll get back to you. This is your next agent who will be calling you. Please be ready with this so-and-so details. Why can't we send out a SMS or a WhatsApp? Or we can send a bot. So if the customer can reply back on that with certain keywords, we can ask them to fill a form as well with 2-3 questions. He should not be annoying during that bot communication. Gather the main information, what is needed, so that the agents have the data in place, the customer 360-degree view of data. We capture that bot information and pass it back to Salesforce or any other CRM per se. When the dialer dials out, they get that pop-up, customer info as a pop-up on their page, so that they communicate, you're trying to inquire this so and so. So these are the certain solutions or answers. So he's ready with the content. So in this way, what I feel, there's a seamless integration in the backend, and seamless communication is also happening in parallel. You don't have to be on a call immediately, but at least you are touch basing him that we'll be reaching you in next 5-10 minutes. This is the agent's name or some information, right? So CCaaS platforms make it easy to collect essential information data through analytical reports or insights we gather through bot or IVR. We can, why can't we send a automated call, right? And gather that feedback from the customer, asking, you can ask customer to please give a missed call. We can send out a message saying, please give a missed call. I'll call you back at your convenience, right? These reports include data about call volume, hold time, agent's performance, and call resolution time. All this data is being consolidated and put in a one tool or one place. So customer relationship management along with the call information. So your business can use this information later to make necessary improvements to process the enhancements and all. Yeah.
Thanks, Ram. I think some very key insights on features of CCaaS and how this helps reduce the turnaround time for leads to reach out to a particular lead, how we can integrate omni-channel into the system. Speaking of omni-channel, we now know that the customer is everywhere. They are on social media, they can reach out to you on call, IVRs. I hope Mr. Balaji is there. And my question to you is a marketing question. How can you effectively manage your marketing campaigns? And also the nature of the product that we have being a highly expensive buy for a lot. I mean, in luxury segment, it's a very expensive segment, as Mr. Pankaj was saying. I think there is a need for personalization too. How can you effectively personalize your marketing campaigns, and how can you track it? Insights.
See, in an omni-channel world, tracking a marketing campaigns can be challenging, but there are very effective ways to do that. Just make sure that you use your tracking URLs. That is, tracking URLs are a unique URLs that used in marketing campaigns. That tracks your clicks, your conversions, and you can identify which channels are driving traffic to your website, which one basically generates the most conversations there. Two is your UTM parameters. So your UTM parameters are tags that can add to your URLs. Third is again your marketing automation softwares. So that should help you to perform your campaigns across your multiple channels. Fourth, I would also suggest that monitor your social media analytics. Your social media platforms that offers analytics that could help you help you in a very niche manner, that is time across from your multiple channels such as your email, text, your social media, your chatbots. That basically gives you very good improvisations on your customer satisfaction, and that can lead to a faster conversions. To do all this, I've been always telling that, make sure that your campaigns are very strong enough, to communicate and to a very high budgeted value customers, your communication, your English, your whole, the marketing process falls only if your communication strategies are in place. And the last is, your streamlined process, online omni-channel automation can help you to streamline the whole real estate by automating tasks such as scheduling your appointments, sending reminders, providing updates. This can free up agents' time, allowing them to focus on more important tasks such as closing deals. And fourth is your better data management. So by using your automation tools, real estate agents can capture data from multiple channels. As I said, it could be your email, your social media, your website interactions. The data can be used to gain insights in buyer behavior and preferences, which can help agents to personalize their marketing efforts and provide a better customer experience. So by providing a very seamless and consistent experience across all channels, I think real estate agents can create a better customer experience. Pankaj.
Thank you, Balaji. I think for sure data can help us get more insights, and also we learn how to personalize our efforts, marketing efforts in a better way. Any insights on this, Ram?
Yeah, I'm sorry in between, but I have to leave for some urgent work. But thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Ajay. Look forward to seeing you again. And thank you, Balaji. Thank you, Ram, and thank you, Pratik. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Pankaj, for
Bye-bye.
joining us here
Bye-bye.
today.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ram. Any insights on that, or should we move ahead?
We'll move ahead. I have a couple of points I'll collate for the
Okay.
second. Yeah.
Meanwhile, we do have a few audience questions, but I will take them towards the end. We have one final question for the panelists, and that is on effectively managing your broker network or your channel partners. And my question is to Mr. Ajay. Like, can you share some insights? Because we have discussed in the past how it is very essential, and most of your sales come from your broker network, your channel partners. And there was talks of building trust for your customers because it's a high product. How do you effectively manage the communications in the broker network? How do you build trust and avoid any information asymmetry in the entire buying process or the buyer journey?
Interesting. I was in fact at the conference of Analytics only yesterday. One of the same question came up that there may be tendencies to misrepresent the product in the urge to make a sale, and how does one avoid that? Now, this is not a real estate problem. This is a universal problem when you have a distributed environment. So it's not, but yes, because here the emotional connect or the buying is different from any other product. The reaction is that much more and valid because it's a high involvement, high value product that people invest in. However, like I said, no matter what somebody has told you to bring you to the table, at the end of the day, when you make a purchase of this nature, you obviously will take all precautions yourself. So it's a sort of maker-checker process inbuilt by the asset class itself that people, today are far more aware. Second, they are protected by regulation. DERA is a strong disincentive for both the channel partners who have to be registered with them, and of course the developer too. You can't misrepresent facts. And third is that today with people on social media, it's very, very easy for people to talk about, actually can pull a brand down if you don't keep things transparent and above board. So I don't see that as a challenge. The second, when the actual purchasing decision happens, it always happens face-to-face and with the developer. So your eventual buying will always happen in front of the developer and not, away from the developer. And I think that gets pretty well managed because then you actually are talking to the developer irrespective of where you made your, initial inquiry from. I don't see that as a challenge. And as far as communication with the network goes, I think today WhatsApp is all prevalent. Everything is shared on WhatsApp. It's the easiest tool to communicate with. It is seamless apart from your traditional channels. And then, when launches happen, since we sell through channel partners predominantly, they know obviously before the customer knows because there are huge pre-launch events which are targeted at them. They are shared information about the product that is coming up. So they are very, very, very informed because they know a lot more upfront. Information is shared with them upfront much before the product is launched in the market. And given the fact that we sell only through the partner network, you don't have to do any other sale. They themselves sell it through their viral network. So I think the existing technology itself is just so all pervasive that information is readily available with everybody to take a buying decision, and user-generated content on the brand, the product is instant. I very often get to know things from our own customers that I may not have even thought about because they are so well researched and informed that it's outstanding. And I think one of my colleagues mentioned that the children of today, our kids, are so well informed that they just will not believe what you tell them. We would have, because we probably didn't have the era of communication. But today's world, their built-in information is readily available, and you can take an informed decision. So the decision and the control is in the buyer's hand, not in the seller's.
Thank you, Mr. Ajay. One fantastic point that you really mentioned was about WhatsApp, and we totally agree that WhatsApp has been a predominant channel. I think the adoption is still not 100%, and there's it's not, and all real estate companies have adopted WhatsApp, but WhatsApp effectively for all throughout the buyer journey, be it when you want to send a brochure to a prospective buyer, or when you want to send a site location for them to visit, or post sale, you want to send them information regarding the purchase. That everything can be done in WhatsApp. Plus, you can connect your contact center to WhatsApp. You can speak to agent through it. There's a bot. So I think WhatsApp definitely is going to be a game changer in this space. There is an audience question, and this is regarding APIs. Ram, I think you might be, if you take it, how do you plan to integrate? A question from Mr. Hitesh is, how do you plan to integrate Salesforce and other APIs which communicate with customer response and align them in the current segment?
Sure. So, so let me answer that question. Each time an agent interacts with a customer, right, the data is collected, assuming the compliance with applicable privacy laws, etc. The data is collected to help your company learn more about your customer base, their needs, probably demographic information and other data points, right? But how do we put the data for, again, as a feedback, correct? So out of that, so much information you have captured during the call, or during when you dial a customer and ask for a feedback or a survey, CSAT surveys, right? So these informations, we can use it for the next action points. So how do we use or call the triggering point is the API, correct? So now when we make an outgoing call to customer and ask for a survey, the data captured is like, are you interested for a site visit? I'm taking an example of that. Let's say if he says yes or no, or if he says press 1 if you're interested. So I'm collecting some information during the call, correct? So this is pre-configured, the numerical inputs, or the every value is captured as a Boolean value, or a yes or no kind of a question, satisfied, not satisfied. So this information, what we capture from CCaaS platform, we pass it back to Salesforce. So there are readily available APIs. Now, how do we right segment is the question here, right? Now the business will decide, should I, if they're interested, the business teams from who is using the Salesforce, or who is using the CRM, and who is using CCaaS, the business team come and ask both the application vendors, saying, if this is the right information, if the data is captured, say, interest would be going into a dialer and dial out, also send an automated message. Recently, I have done a integration with the Vera Realty team, right? So they, as soon as they make an outgoing call, even when I was testing with my numbers, right, I was getting an automated message on my WhatsApp, on my normal SMS, right? There are some predefined templates. Now, collecting that information is already given by the CCaaS platform. This data, we will push it to SFDC, and we can trigger an SMS API or a WhatsApp API instantly. So like I personally saw this in the last 2 days, right? While we are onboarding this new team, Vera Realty team. So when I made a test call, or when I'm dialing a call, right, or the team is making a call to me as a customer, I'm also instantly getting the messages. So right APIs are already built in. So we have in which segment you want to trigger an API. You tell us the business flow. We will be able to integrate the same for you, right?
Thanks, Ram. I think it's all about setting the workflows first and then adopting the technology to.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think any more questions? I hope this answered your question, Mr. Hitesh. Okay, I think we are to the close. Just one final closing remark, Mr. Ajay, and since we don't have any more questions.
Thanks, Prantik. Thanks everyone for your patient hearing and my fellow panelists. I think it's exciting what technology can do, but my mantra with technology always has been: don't let technology dictate the outcome. It has to be based on a business need. Only then will you be successful. It is what you need. Sure, at times you may not know what you need, but having seen it from close quarters, a successful implementation of any tech initiative is basis a need and an ownership to see it through. Otherwise, it remains, as a nice bell and whistle with no practical implementation. So use existing technologies. I think they are of tremendous depth, use cases, success rates, and as long as it covers 3 pillars: ease of use, convenience, and timeliness, I think you'll have a winning formula for yourself. Don't copy. Do what's best for you and your team. That works. That's my only probably 2 bits on the topic.
Thank you, Mr. Ajay. And again, I would like to thank the Ozonetel team. Would like to thank you for your valuable insights and for giving us your time here today. And I know you have a meeting and you have to log off. I think you can log off. We are just winding up.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Ozonetel. Of course, they are our partners on our tech front. I guess that's in some form an endorsement of the fact that we already use Ozonetel. So it's wonderful. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on this forum. Thank you for your questions, Prantik, and well moderated. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ajay. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ajay sir.
Thanks.
Mr. Balaji, your last thoughts on automation, omnichannel communications, marketing beat in the real estate, and how technology has been helping the entire industry segment. What are the changes?
I think we
Is he here? But
we lost.
No. How about Ram? We go ahead with you first.
Yeah, I was about to speak on the omni-channel integration. I was waiting for the other team to complete. So, see, when we do this marketing campaigns, correct? So generally, I have seen in my when I was in Bangalore, I saw a new real estate building which is under construction. I saw a hoarding saying "Give a missed call," right? So that's like a marketing campaign, the strategy which was started few years back, and now it's become a common thing. And we have a lot of other communications through WhatsApp and all. But that was one of the key, way of connecting to the clients. You give a missed call if you're interested in this property, and we will call you back. So that is one of the campaigns which we have run, and only on missed call service, correct? We had 7 million call volume. This is an example we have seen in our platform. So only one single missed call, we call back, correct? So not only in real estate, there are other sectors who have used such kind of services. So we can use this one, and we send out a message to the customer, then ask for an input. So, and through an SMS or a WhatsApp, and then we can put that customer into auto dialer, right? So that we're personalizing the campaigns, isn't it? So we're not only just asking a missed call back, sir, how can I help you? Rather, we are personalizing by collecting some information. What is he interested? What is he looking for? That is something, the questions or queries we should make it simple. Either we auto dial the customer, collect a feedback, or send out a message and collect a feedback. Then we put it to the real-time agent, so that we are giving a right information to the, or right lead information, nurturing to the agent, so that the teleperformer or whoever is on the field agent, they have a proper buyer's journey, which will allow you to take the strategy to the next level. So this is something we are connecting with multiple channels. So I treat this as an omni-channel campaign.
Absolutely.
Right. So you will improve the ability to engage the customers as they move through the digital atmosphere, bringing the channels together. Sure.
I think what it also helps is you first generate the intent and then you call back the customer, rather than just cold calling a customer whom you don't know if they have the need of really buying a house. Absolutely. Any final thoughts? I think we would like to, since we don't have any more questions, we can finish off. Like, Ram, your 2 bits about this, and we can wrap this up.
Yeah, so what I see, the real estate companies are benefiting from CCaaS. We have lots and lots of real estate clients onboarded with us, and there are Salesforce partners who have brought the clients who can integrate with CRM and CCaaS platforms. I could collect a few important metrics how they benefited. Just to close this, before we close the session, I wanted to give that just significantly they reduce lead cost as compared to the conversion ratio. This is something we have seen in every real estate company's integration with us. And automated communication across touch points and ensure timely nurturing, high engagement, improved conversions, and reduce the sales cycle. Being in touch with the communication, we are still communicating, and we are reducing that sales cycle. A unified view of customer journey helps business understand where the lead is, or the where lead in the sales cycle is, right? So communication through digital channels ensure personalized notifications. We can send out a message as soon as the call is completed. So as discussed over the call, so this will accelerate the documentation and high customer satisfaction. And finally, I feel paying attention to the right deal at the right time with all the communication channels what we are offering.
Thank you, Ram. I think it was very well summarized, as well as you gathered all the learnings from all your interactions with real estate companies, various demos that you have done over the years. And thank you for sharing your thoughts today. I hope it was an enriching session for everyone that we have in the audience today. Thank you, Braintricks team, for supporting us. And yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Prantik.
So
Thank
yes,
you.
on that note, yeah. On that note, this is Ekta from Brinalytics. I would like to thank all the speakers for taking out your time. Thank you, Mr. Ram Pradeep, for being here, Mr. Ajay, Mr. Balaji, and Mr. Pankaj. Prantik, thank you for moderating. Audiences, thank you for joining us. And we shall be sharing the entire videos. Also, I would like to engage you with our partner Ozonetel for their interesting communication. As Mr. Ajay also told that the M3M is currently deploying their solutions and are beneficial for the real estate. So would look forward to connect with you one-on-one again with the Ozonetel team and block some brainstorm interesting sessions with you guys. So on that note, thank you so much. Have a lovely evening and stay healthy. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.